Hi, One Best PR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are looking at week 2 of the NFL preseason with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, a living legend in the handicapping world. Been doing this successfully and professionally for almost 30 years, written up recently by ESPN.com. Everyone knows this guy is the real deal. We're going to look at Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. How's baseball going for you recently and the NFL preseason this week?
Baseball, it's been a great year. Like I said, since the All-Star break, a little bit more streaky. The NFL, as we follow this report, a perfect 3-0 in week 2, and it's only going to get better. And we have a great regular season in store, college and pro.
Well, Cincinnati and Tampa Bay is the Monday night game for week 2 in the NFL preseason. Tampa Bay's a 2.5-point favorite, and I think I'm scratching my head a little bit. I mean, obviously it's very rare to see a road favorite in the preseason in the NFL, but Tampa Bay did not look good in week 1 of the preseason. And it's not just that, they had, skilled players who underperformed and now might perform better. They're looking very thin and vulnerable on the offensive line. And that's a problem that you can't really fix week to week, especially in the preseason. And Cincinnati played great against the Giants. I like the Giants in that one, but Cincinnati looked very good. Considering the struggles of Tampa Bay, I'm thinking we like Cincinnati here, plus 2.5. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, they are going to be going with A.J. McCarron. It looks like he's finally going to make his long-anticipated debut. Of course, the guy from Alabama, second-year player. I do think, though, that Tampa Bay, there might be a little bit more energy in the crowd because, remember, this will be Jameis Winston, his home debut on Monday Night Football. Maybe the expectations aren't going to be totally realistic, but I do think that could mean a little bit more of a home field advantage. Still, all in all, the Bengals are the better team, but I don't know if I can agree with you as far as saying that Cincinnati would be the obvious play. I do think that Tampa Bay, because they'll be debuting their new toy in front of the home crowd, I think this, there could be a little bit of momentum for Tampa Bay here.
Yeah, but it's like you can't really debut a toy if you don't have the batteries to run it with, right? It's just like the offensive line. I just don't see that it's there for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, there is a reason that Tampa Bay did have the top pick in the NFL draft, and no, that they certainly have not gotten tremendous overnight. But keep in mind that this is more of it's a preseason game where it's as much about which team is going to be motivated, and that word I like to use in the preseason, urgency. I don't know if the Bengals necessarily have quite as much to prove, but yeah, if this were hypothetically a regular season game, which it's not, and the line were this, or even a week 3 game, then the Bengals at plus 2.5 would look quite tempting for sure.
Right, but going down the depth chart, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, does it not appear that Cincinnati is just a significantly deeper team across the board?
They are a little bit deeper team, and like I said, I think when the first 2 weeks of the NFLX, it doesn't always come down simply to personnel. Remember, they're going to be using a rusty quarterback, a guy who has not played in 2 years in a competitive game, and obviously Cincinnati, they've got a veteran coach who's not going to have that sense of urgency in the preseason. So it comes down to a little bit more in the first 2 weeks of the preseason than just comparing the rosters.
All right, I hear you, Joel. Right now, Tampa Bay is a solid 2.5-point favorite. Total's 39.5 or 40. Are you going to bless us with a pick in this game, or is it going to be a pass for you?
No, I'm going to give it to Peter Loshak, who sounds like he is going to be going with the Tampa Bay, or the Cincinnati Bengals, I should say.
Yeah, I'll tell you, out of all the 3 games that we previewed, if there's one that I would have requested for you to pass on and pass down to me, I think it would have been this one. And I am going to go with Cincinnati getting 2.5. I just think that the problems are going to show up again here for Tampa Bay on the offensive line, and that Cincinnati, one way or another, has the depth to keep this one at least close. That's going to be my pick, Cincinnati plus 2.5. And Joe Duffy, for the purposes of our record keeping, passing on this one, but he might wind up having a play closer to kickoff officially at his site, OffshoreInsiders.com. Right, Joe? Not out of the question.
You got that, sir.
Thanks so much, Joe.